Going deep for Smith. Irv Smith. What a run by Smith. Look at that. Touchdown. Oh, my.
How's it going, everyone? I am Sean Moriarty.
I'm Benjamin Walters.
And this is the Two Irish Brothers show. Now, guys, something that I want to do right now is I want to make a special dedication. See, this past weekend, Ben, you already know about this. I made you well aware of it in advance. For those of you guys who might not remember, maybe you do, but my cat Rutherford has made a few cameos, if you will, on this channel, mostly on live chats. And here's a picture of him, just to jog your guys' memory if you don't remember. But he is one of the kittens from my family's only litter back in 2018. And unfortunately, very unexpectedly, he passed away on Saturday evening. And I would like to take this time to dedicate this episode to his memory. And I'm actually coming to you guys, not to make this all about me, but I'm coming to you guys tonight with a very heavy heart because this all happened so fast and just out of nowhere. And my family and I are, well, Ben, being honest with you, dude, we are still reeling from this loss. And also just for a happy memory, here's me holding him at when he was 3 days old. Yeah. So one thing I want to say to everybody before we get going with the recap of the Florida State game is two things. Everybody that has pets, one, cherish every day that you have with them, because obviously you never know when the end is going to come, but that's just a given. We all know that. And two, they are your family, and don't let anybody tell you that you're crazy for thinking that they're family. Because let me tell you something, and Ben, you've experienced this too. I know. Losing them hurts just as much as losing a human loved one. I mean, you feel it. It sucks. And yeah, it just, what more can I say? It sucks. And this was a very big blow to our family this past weekend. Because that's really the only litter of kittens we're going to have, and each one of them are so special. There was 4 altogether, and he was definitely a special cat, definitely one of the friendliest cats I ever had, and we are definitely going to really miss him. And Ben, you remember he snuggled with you when you stayed here.
He did.
Yeah. So all I got to say is before we get going here, Rutherford, I love you, buddy. I'm going to miss you, and I'll see you down the road on the other side, my friend. But until then, you rest well, and God bless you. All right, Ben. So with that said, and actually I was telling you before we started filming that this is actually a good way to deal with the grieving process, is to continue your everyday routine, which this is a part of, and this show is a part of our routine. And it's definitely something that I love doing, and I'm not going to stop doing it no matter how crappy things get. So, but the positive is we had a great outcome against the Florida State Seminoles this past weekend. 52-3. A lot of good things to talk about in this one. But myself personally, I'd rather just get the negative stuff out of the way first so we can focus on all the good. And really, the only negative I can really truly think of, other than maybe the passing game, if you will, but we know what kind of offense we have here, so that's beside the point. But I just didn't like the slow start that we got off to offensively.
Yeah, the first quarter was like two boxers feeling each other out. In the first half in general, but once that second quarter got going, it was a little bit different. And eventually the score paints a pretty vivid picture. So I wasn't too disappointed. And, here's my thing with Florida State. This is a very, 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 very talented Florida State team that has been absolutely decimated by injury and has had a tremendously bad season when it comes to winning and losing. Because, as the saying goes, winning's contagious, but so is losing.
Yes.
So this was not us playing USF or Florida Atlantic. This was us playing Florida State, who had a top 15 recruiting class last few years. So I don't mind the slow start against a decently talented, even when they're hurt, Florida State team.
Well, and to add on to that, and we did point this out in the preview. I mean, this is also a program that's been gutted by graduation and guys leaving early to the NFL or to the transfer portal, whichever. So they lost a lot of top talent to that, and the talent that they do have, it's very raw, and it needs to be coached up. I think this is a Florida State team that I'm sure we're probably going to see bounce back in the next few years.
Yes.
And also, I don't know if you saw this, but Mike Norville, he fired 3 of his assistants. I think it was the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and offensive line coach, I think I might be wrong on that, but he fired 3 of his assistants. I know that much. And, it's unfortunate, but somebody has to take blame for that,
Yep.
But we're not here to talk about Florida State's misery. We're here to talk about our success.
Yes.
And overall, Ben, this performance was, aside from the slow start, when we started clicking, we were clicking. And I know you alluded to that earlier, but, I'm going to start defense on this one. I'm going to start with the defense. 8 total sacks by that defense, 3 of them coming from Riley Mills.
Yes.
Now, that I loved seeing. I loved seeing the pressure on the quarterback, and they were getting the job done.
Yep. And we won the turnover battle, too. 2 interceptions. So, yeah, defense, once again, continues to impress. But the offense has really started clicking. I mean, we went from the first couple games being really worried about this offense to now where we're putting up 50 points a game offensively wise. I mean, nothing to scoff at. So, yeah, I'm pretty impressed overall with what's been going on.
Now I know that people are going to complain about the passing, and you look at Riley Leonard's numbers: 14 of 27, 215 yards, and only 1 touchdown. But you also got to take into account too, there were some drop passes.
Yes.
There were a couple that were batted down at the line of scrimmage, but the thing is, those things happen. And I think the reason why people are so frustrated by the passing is it's almost like so many of our fans expect every pass that he throws to be a touchdown. And I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Riley Leonard is not that kind of quarterback to do that. He is really more like a field general, more dual threat. We knew coming in that he wasn't going to throw for like 4,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. So that's where people got to remember that he balances the passing game out with his legs. Because on the ground, look at what he did: 11 carries for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he makes up for his lack of a passing game.
Yep. Oh, pardon me. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the biggest frustration fan-wise, or the reason for the frustration, I guess I should say, is it's every year. Every year we just don't have that elite passing game, and every year we expect to have it, and we don't have it. So I think that's part of it. But
and I
overall, like you said, strengths, weaknesses, and I think everything is in preparation for the future.
You beat me to the punch.
CJ Carr.
Yes, CJ Carr.
That's the thing. So
I think it's going to be CJ Carr, but I could definitely see a battle between him and Angeli. And I'm not trying to throw out Kenny Minchie like he's nothing.
Right.
He's got to show. Well, yeah, he's got to show that he deserves to be the starter.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, and it's one of those where, I mean, if Angeli had somehow won the job from Leonard, would any of us have been shocked? No. And which it did, Riley Leonard won the job, were any of us shocked? No. So, part of me wishes that we had gone with Angeli just because I feel like he's put in his time. He was legit recruited by Notre Dame, whereas Riley Leonard was recruited by Duke, and all that. But Leonard being the bridge quarterback that is to usher in the future that is CJ Carr, got no problem. No problem with that. The stars kind of aligned this year where we had an easier schedule than most years.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have that many big namers on the schedule. Worked out where we expected Florida State to be something and they weren't, so that kind of helped a little bit, as opposed to legitimately worrying and sweating about this game where Florida State's ranked in the top 10 and we're wondering if we can win this game. Same with Southern Cal. But, yeah, I mean, now it's, we were in the last playoff picture looking like we will continue to be in the playoff picture, which I'm fine with. Can't complain too much.
No, not really. I mean, the goal right now, as far as the playoffs go, not only make it, but the ultimate goal is to get to number 8 or higher. That
Correct.
way you're able to host one of those first round games.
Yep.
So, but no, I mean, as far as the future of the quarterback position goes, in my prediction, I think it will come down to either Kenny Minchie to Steve Angeli or CJ Carr. And add on to my point earlier, the only reason I say it's between those two guys, and again, not trying to leave Minchie out, I'm only going with Angeli in that spot because he's seen more time on the field than Minchie has. And Minchie hasn't seen a lot of playing time. It's just the nature of the beast. Somebody is going to be left out. Somebody's going to be the one that has to be in the third string spot. And, well, right now that's Minchie. Well, I guess technically it's Carr, but
right.
You get what I'm saying. But anyway, we'll worry about the future later. We're in the now, and the present is what we need to focus on. So let's talk about the rushing game aside from Riley Leonard. So Jeremiah Love had a slow week this week, but he still found the end zone once. But it was Jadarian Price carrying the load this week.
Yes, it was.
95 yards on 7 carries, 1 touchdown with an average of 13.6 yards a carry. Phenomenal.
Yes.
Anais Williams, look out for this guy. Yeah. He only had 11 yards on 2 carries, but where he makes up for it is being able to catch passes out of the backfield. And he's it may not look like spectacular numbers, but he's making strides as a freshman. And that's what you like to see, is you want to see guys develop and get some game experience and just continue to learn and continue to grow.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's doing that.
I mean, the running game continues to impress. It's been a thing for years now that the running game is elite and all powerful. So, yeah, I was pleased with how everything went. I mean, you can't ask much more than that. And that's the beauty of our roster right now, is that if Love has a slow week, Price doesn't. And if Price has a slow week, Love doesn't. And then if they both have a slow week, Williams has the week. Like, it's so nice knowing that we have this like 3-headed monster that is our running back core currently. So,
and don't get the wrong idea. Kedron Young another freshman running back. He's going to get his touches as time
Well,
goes
and then
forward.
Riley Leonard can run too. I mean, so
Yes.
it's just like you just pick your poison with that whole running game situation.
Oh, I think I get it, and I think everybody else watching does too. We're talking just like the running backs.
So,
yeah,
man.
But moving on to receiving, only two. Jaden Greathouse and Jaden Harrison led the way. But overall, it was between Riley Leonard and Stephen Jelly, who got some playing time. 3 out of 3 for him. Only 2 touchdowns, but being spread around here. Greathouse 5 catches, Jaden Harrison 2 catches, 2 for Faison, 2 for Mitchell Evans, and then 1 apiece for everybody else. But you like to see more than everybody else just get 1 reception. But what I like about that is everybody is contributing.
Yes.
So
it's awesome. It's like who are you going to pick to stop this time around? Who are you going to do? So
I mean, you had some guys with a slow week. I mean, Bo Collins only had 1 catch. Chris Mitchell didn't have any catches at all, which is, you hate seeing that. But the bottom line is, it just goes back to what I just said. You have other guys that can pick that slack up when certain guys are having a slow week.
I mean, the fact that everybody contributes is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And like you said, there were some drop passes too. I mean, circling back, a little while before this. But yeah, I mean, overall, the sky is the limit because, I mean, you look at all the different guys that got involved, and if they continue to improve and become even better athletes, holy cow. Like, cannot ask for much more than that. So,
no.
Sky's the limit, man. Sky is the limit.
Yeah. At this point on, we control our own destiny. We have so many people panicking, thinking that if we go 11-1, that we're going to get left out because this happened or that happened. I'm telling you guys right now, if Notre Dame finishes 11-1, that committee is not leaving us out of the playoffs. So yeah, I've been hearing this week in, week out for a long time now. I'm getting sick of it. If we win out, we're in. We control our own destiny.
Yeah.
And the committee would be stupid to leave us out if they did that. So the echo chamber on that can stop now. So also we got to mention this, Ben, just to give a shout out. What was his name? We got to give a shout out to Luke Talich or Talik, however you pronounce his name. The young man who had the pick 6 at the end. First player ever on Notre Dame's roster from the state of Wyoming to score a touchdown.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Awesome. That is awesome. I think he's one of only 2 native Wyomingians, or is that how you say it, Wyomingians?
Sure, we'll go with that.
People, okay. How about this? Native citizens of the state of Wyoming. How about that?
Sure.
He's only the 3rd one from Wyoming to play for Notre Dame in its history, and he was the first one to score a touchdown.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, despite the mouthful there, you guys know what we're getting at. So, with that said, Ben, I have nothing else to discuss.
I got nothing else either, dude.
All right. Well, I guess that's
Virginia senior day. So
bring it on.
That preview will be Wednesday, dropping Wednesday.
Because
along with our thoughts on the whole college football playoff.
Yeah. Because we wanted to do that after the rankings were released, and because usually, guys, we do the recap of the previous game and the preview for the next in one take. Sorry, we're divulging secrets here. But no, with it being the playoffs coming out every Tuesday, time to switch that up a little bit. So,
yep.
So with that said, one last thing, Ben, where do you think we're going to come in this week? What's your prediction?
Number 8.
Number 8. I'm going to say either number 8 or number 9. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, number 8. I think we'll move up just 2 spots, because there were a couple other schools that were ahead of us that have moved back or should move back. Miami being one of them.
Utah, yeah. Georgia Tech really helped us with two ways with that.
But
it could have been more if Michigan could have came back against Indiana, which they had their chance, and same with Utah against BYU. So
yeah, but I was okay with Indiana beating Michigan. Like,
well, yes.
That was pretty cool to see. Like, I don't even know the last time. I'd have to go look it up. I don't even know the last time Indiana beat Michigan in football. Like, it's got to have been a long time since. But yeah, BYU and Utah was interesting. And there's a whole storyline with that. And Utah's AD ripping the refs, and then now Utah's AD got fined $40,000 by the Big 12.
Yikes!
For his comments post game. So, woo. But
all I know is these last 3 weeks of college football, they're 4 if you want to include conference championship week. They're going to be pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. On that note, everyone, I'm Sean Moriarty.
I'm Benjamin Walters.
As we always say every video, good night, God bless, go Irish, and once again, rest in peace to my good friend Rutherford. See you down the road, pal.
Go Irish.